Lastly, on the program today, Catholic bishops, parishioners in protest against killings. Hundreds of Catholic faithfuls on Sunday marched on the streets of Abuja against the rising wave of insecurity and killings in Nigeria. They urged the federal government to stop the killings in the land, restore peace, and promote unity among all religions. The cleric stressed that the government needs to accept the reality that the country is under siege and end insecurity. They also begged Christians to pray for peace. All right, yet again, the Christian community has come out to say enough is enough with the killings and the insecurity in the country. All right, there's a clip of that online. Let's see if we can quickly go watch that and then we'll come back.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done.
This happened earlier today. Members of the Catholic mission in the nation's capital, Abuja, on a prayer procession seeking God's intervention over the rising cases of insecurity in the country. The procession, led by the president of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, Archbishop Augustine Akubeze, is held on the sidelines of the Catholic Bishops' Conference holding in Abuja. The procession started from the Ecumenical Center to Our Lady Queen of Nigeria Pro Cathedral in Garki, Abuja, with the faithful holding placards with different inscriptions bearing their messages to the federal government. Archbishop Augustine Akubeze delivers the message to the Catholic bishops in Nigeria.
The Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus.
We therefore appeal to the government to immediately put a stop to this unprecedented wave of violence and brutality aimed particularly at Christians. We also call for the arrest and prosecution of those behind these senseless killings that sow the dangerous seeds of hate and distrust among the various segments of the Nigerian society. We are sad. We are in sorrow and grief. But we are confident that the light of Christ which shines in our hearts will brighten the dark corners of the Nigerian society. As a mark of mourning for all our brothers and sisters who have been victims of the most recent wave of violence against Christians, we are all dressed in black today, just as we did on Ash Wednesday, and offer our prayers and penance for their repose.
All right, so that's a Catholic community rising up to speak to the government on insecurity in the country. And present was the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, who in response said Nigerians should pray for government to succeed. Prince Chilaka, quickly.
Pray for government to succeed. It's like asking somebody, like somebody who is looking for a job. Mm-hmm. You have not prepared your CV. You have no qualification. Every morning you are praying for a job. How will you get the job? I think we pray too much in this country, just as much as we play too much. When I was growing up, when you talk about a group of people doing a protest, that protest happens and ends where government officials receive you and receive your grievances. But these days, we've turned Sundays, when everybody's at home enjoying themselves, you say you're doing a protest. What kind of protest are you doing? It is no protest. I'm a Catholic, but I won't support that. If the Christian community in Nigeria is ready to do a protest, they know the right thing to do. You don't do a protest on a Saturday or on a Sunday. You do a protest on a work day. You say you're going to the villa or you're going to the National Assembly. You go there and people will know you are aggrieved. You can't do a protest when the senators are in the house drinking champagne. The president is picking his teeth with toothpick, and you're doing a protest. It doesn't make sense.
All right, because of time, quickly, Mazi, you think this doesn't have any impact as well?
It has, but I don't think it's not out of place to do it on Sunday, because if they are to do it on Monday through Friday, it's a working days, and some of those that are involved in protests will be in a working place. But then you do a protest. Was it last year? Yes, last year or 2 years ago, when about 71 persons were killed in Benue. Then there was a protest here in Lagos, Catholic, and they marched to the government house. The governor did not come. Did not come to receive them. Now, this is an evidence that there's a failure. The government has failed. Yesterday again, this governor of Kaduna State came out and apologized. And he said they should forgive them for not protecting them.
The victims.
That shows that government has no solution again. Then how will you expect the killings to stop when you are proposing a commission to be established to rehabilitate, to forgive those that are killing?
They are perpetrating the crime.
Then again, you are proposing also to send those who claim that they've repented, you want to send them for abroad for education, while there are people in ID camps. It's unfortunate that we have found ourselves in this one chance government, and again we have been complaining. Let there be a solution. The federal government wake up. It's no longer, it's not how many. Yesterday it was about 31, the other day it was 51. It's now counting numbers as if you are killing, slaughtering chickens and goats and cows. Human beings are being killed. The Catholic bishops, I think, they've tried, but then our vice president is there. But it's overwhelmed. They can't do anything.
Mr. Shokweto.
Excuse me, I don't see anything wrong in the vice president asking people to pray for the country. Our own Bible asks us to pray for our leaders.
There's nothing wrong anywhere.
Both secular and spiritual. So
pray for our leaders.
Yes, we are required to pray for them. Now, what I've always not been quite comfortable about is this issue of trying to make it look as if this insecurity is against the Christians only. All of us are victims of this insecurity, and it needs to be tackled holistically. I can't understand the rationale for saying that some people who have perpetrated all these brigandage, that they have repented, now you want to reabsorb them and all that. Unfortunately, it seems that this problem has overwhelmed the authorities. So maybe with this type of protest, at least the VP was there to really make them understand that, okay, but all of us too owe it a duty to really ensure that we do all in our power to protect ourselves. And we should also cooperate with the government by giving information. I suspect very, very strongly that there are fit columnists in our security forces. We saw the Wadume case, where an army captain went and killed policemen who were after kidnappers.
After a kidnapper.
So this is something that all of us really have to be concerned about. So it's not a question of saying Muslim, Christian, whatever.
In addition to that, was it not in
10 seconds?
Yes, in Maiduguri last week, a soldier killed how many persons? I also killed himself.
Four colleagues.
You see, they are confused. There's nothing because they've seen that even I don't know how their welfare issues taken care of.
Exactly.
I don't know.
And apart from that, there's a psychological angle, to all of this. People who are fighting this war, they see people die every time. It can affect you in your mind.
You want to protect, you want to give.
Exactly. And then again, that also brings the question to the fore, to the government. If we are reintegrating and rehabilitating those who were, the perpetrators of the crime, who are now repentant, What provision has been made for the victims? I know that the federal government announced 10,000 housing units in Borno, you know, for those who have been displaced. It's not enough. A lot of people have gone through a lot of emotional damage just because of what has been going on.
Some of the relief materials have been collapsed.